Welcome to Risk Forever channel, guys. To the channel which shares the most relevant tips and tricks on how to win at Risk and improve your rank in no time. Subscribe to the channel and you won't even see how fast you will become so much better at Risk. Push that notification bell to see new videos first. This is your host ChampionEver. And today we are playing 4-player fixed cards game on classic Risk map. Settings: balanced blitz dice rolls, 60 seconds per turn, alliance is on, and additionally, since it's winter, I decided to add some blizzards to make this game more interesting. I haven't played with blizzards for a really long amount of time, so we will see how it goes for me. This time I'm playing against one intermediate rank player who is green, and even 2 beginner rank players who are yellow and blue. Low rank players can be unpredictable and do all kinds of crazy stuff. Especially it can be a struggle to hold a continent, as they tend to invade any opportunity they get to. Sending alliances don't really work every time. So I don't know. Let's hope I will work something out and come up with a winning strategy. But it's also possible that it can be another loss as well. Who knows? In any case, wish me best of luck, guys. I will definitely need it playing with blizzards. All what you need to do is to root for the red player. So far my situation isn't bad at all. I've just captured South America and I'm pretty happy with it. I will be getting 2 additional troops, which are nothing really impressive but way better than nothing. Let's stay positive, guys. Anyway, as you can see, I didn't leave any troops to guard against the blue player, as I made an alliance with him and I don't want to irritate him. He will always be able to put more troops to that border than me, as obviously he will be getting 3 troops more than me per turn. So I should avoid a conflict with him at any cost. If I wanted that he wouldn't have captured North America, then I needed to take Central America territory and add some troops to it, before he fully captured the continent. Fighting with him right now wouldn't lead to anything good. At first I added my troops to Brazil, as I didn't know whether I want to be friends with the yellow player or not. I really wanted to get Africa as well, as I would have been getting the same number of troops as the blue player currently does, if I had captured Africa. But unfortunately, I didn't scare the yellow player and he was still going for it. So of course, it wouldn't have been worth fighting with him at all. As basically both of our continents would have been cleared out for the blue player and he would win so easily. But at the same time, I don't want to fight with the blue player as well. As if I attack him, then the yellow player would get to take South America from me easily. So in one or another way, fighting wasn't really an option for me. So I decided to become neutral and put my troops into Peru territory. In this way neither blue nor yellow will get irritated or triggered. I've already had an alliance with the blue player, so I just only needed to get an approval by the yellow player as well. I sent him an alliance request as well, but he neither accepted it, nor declined it. But on the other hand, he didn't invade me and didn't even add any troops to guard against my border as well. So we are technically allies with him, right? I'm not too sure so far, but we will find it out soon. Anyways, I noticed that the blue player might go for Europe soon. And whether he might or not, I want that he would struggle to capture it, so this is why I fortified some troops into it. He is already the strongest player, getting 5 additional troops while he only needs to guard 2 borders of North America. So letting for him to get even 5 troops more capturing Europe would be very disastrous for all of the players. Well, the yellow player has a big army in Africa, so he might be attacking the blue player in case blue captures Europe. But I can never be sure. The yellow player is playing very passively right now. He is the friend of everyone right now, so I'm not too sure if he would be attacking blue, and that's why I'm taking the initiative myself. Also, I noticed that the green player might go for Asia, but differently than blue, he doesn't get that many troops like him. So even if the green player captures it, he won't be able to hold it for sure. Even if the yellow player will not invade him, then the blue player will for sure. The blue player could surely move the army he currently has in Alaska territory to Kamchatka, and then the green player won't be really able to do anything. Well, he might still be desperate to get Asia at any cost, and the conflict between him and the blue player will become started. Blue is the strongest player, and it will be very good if someone starts to fight him. And OMG guys, I cannot believe that the green player attacked blue. That is so good. Well, at least for me and yellow. Was it good for green though? I'm not too sure. The blue player can get mad and attack him into Australia. I even made him a way to do that by moving out my troops from Ukraine. So I'm really wondering what the blue player is going to do. Because you know guys, who is going to take over North America in case the blue player abandons it? That's right. It is going to be me. And then eventually I will become dominating player having both of the Americas, well, unless the yellow player takes over Europe. But yeah guys, as you can see, it is not going to happen. The blue player, instead of attacking green and taking over Australia, captured back North America. That's not too good for me. Well, at least he moved out his troops out from Europe, so he isn't going to take over it and become the dominating player, in case nobody would attack him having both continents. Anyways, I don't really know what the green player is thinking by capturing Asia. Does he really think that he will be able to hold it after so drastically attacking blue into North America? Nah, I don't think so green. The blue player is mad at you, and I would be really surprised if he won't attack you. Yeah guys, I totally saw that coming. What the green player was expecting I don't know. And since he didn't even leave any troops to guard Australia, it got invaded as well. So he just made his situation worse than it was before. Why did he attack the blue player in the first place if he was planning to capture Asia? You influence other players to not attack you when you make alliances with them, but not when you drastically attack them, lol. So in case you wanted to hold Asia, and if you had enough trust in me and yellow, then when you were capturing it for the first time, you needed to invade blue in North America again. Or at least leaving the biggest army on his border. But now you're too weak to do anything, to be honest, so you should give up on trying to get Asia. You're getting weaker and weaker, so if you continue recapturing it, then I'm pretty sure you will be taken out soon. If I were you, then I would be using Australian turtle strategy, when you build your troops in Australia and basically do nothing, letting other players fight and destroy each other. But while green, you're just continuing to make your situation even worse. That was a huge mistake for you to invade me and yellow. As both of us can completely afford to take you out without ruining the balance of the game. So you should be very thankful to me that I came up with another strategy to capture Europe to see what happens. As it would be much better for me to hold South America plus Europe, rather than South America and Australia by taking you out. So you got really lucky over here, and not only because I didn't take you out but that the yellow player didn't as well. The yellow player probably made a great decision by invading me to Europe instead, as remember guys, you don't want that one of the players would eventually become too strong. But at least it was worth a try for me to capture it. When the green player captured Asia, the yellow player didn't attack him. So it was pretty possible that the yellow player wouldn't have attacked me into Europe as well. But on the other hand, the yellow player didn't attack green back then because he knew that green will most likely get invaded by blue. So it wasn't really a purpose for him to take care of green, at the same time becoming enemy of him, while the dirty work could have been done by another player. By the blue player, who is already the enemy of green. And talking about my case, of me capturing Europe, the yellow player was pretty much the only player who could invade it. Other players probably wouldn't have, so he knew that he must take the initiative by himself. Well, another strategy that he could have done, was to take the green player out at the same time abandoning Africa, and letting me capture it plus Europe. So the blue player would have been forced to start a war with me and attack me. And while we would have been fighting, the yellow player would have been sitting in Australia turtling. But on the other hand, if the blue player hadn't attacked me in case I captured Africa and Europe, then I would have become dominating player pretty much soon and won the game. To sum up, its strategy could have gone either very well or very wrong. So the yellow player decided to choose the most safest option to attack me into Europe instead. And it was probably a smart decision, I must admit. The blue and green players are already the biggest enemies for the entire life with each other. So it would be the best for him if the person who will get taken out first would be me. Logically thinking, it's much more easier to defeat players who hate each other, rather than players who are kinda neutral towards each other. Anyways, I'm not really sure why the green player left this 24 troops army in territory of India, rather than fortifying them back to Australia. Does he possibly want to clear me out from Europe? So I would become blocked in South America and stop gaining cards? I have no idea at all. If the green player would do that, then he would become very low on troops and most likely be taken out either by blue or yellow for sure. So it wouldn't be a smart decision to clear me out from Europe at all. But the green player was doing all kinds of crazy stuff in this game, so I can never know what to expect from him. So in case to change his mind of possibly invading me, I fortified my troops in middle of Europe instead of having them in Ukraine territory, as I don't want that the green player would possibly think that I want to take him out. And no, I don't want to take him out anymore, guys. He isn't that weak anymore at all. But OMG guys, why did the blue player leave 17 troops army next to Australia? The green player should be really irritated by that. And sure he is, he just swiped that 17 troops army out. I really like how the blue player is continuing to intensify the conflict with the green player. I just love it. You should avoid irritating players at any cost if it isn't needed, as in case you will need their help dealing with the strongest player later in the game. If there will be one, then it will be hard to get their help. It will be hard to regain any trust. And when you piss other players off, sometimes they totally lose their mind and can do something really crazy which can cost the game for both of you. And OMG guys, look, the green player is a perfect example of that. He lost his sober mind and basically suicided on the blue player. What he did was really stupid. He is left with only 11 troops army and the game is basically over for him. I don't think players will keep him alive. The balance of the game can be perfectly sustained without him, and it's always good to get rid of the additional player. I didn't take him out though because he only has 2 cards. I will wait till he gets third one. I know that it's impossible to get a set of 2 cards, so why not get an additional card? Well, it seems the yellow player is taking him out, and it is very good for me as well. As I said, that it's really good to get rid of additional player if it doesn't ruin the balance of the game. Because remember guys, even though that player can be low on troops, he still can eventually become quite strong again. The green player is a perfect example of that. At one point, earlier in the game when he was fighting with blue and trying to get Asia, he became very weak. And when he unleashed my biggest army by attacking into South America, I was really wanting to take him out, but decided to capture Europe instead to see what happens. So he was lucky to survive. And eventually he regained many troops and wasn't weak anymore at all. He could have continued turtling in Australia pretty safely, but then again he decided to do something dumb and became weak for another time. And it was the end of his existing of this game. But he could have lived if he didn't do that stupid attack. And it just proves that it's worth to get rid of additional player if you can, and if that doesn't ruin the balance of the game. Maybe that player can be very weak and doesn't look like a threat at all. But remember that he will grow and grow stronger. And if you fight with another player, then you can both end up having the same amount each as that player, so that player becomes a decent opponent again. Or sometimes the other player you fight with can destroy you so much that the player appeared weak back then, now can have more troops than both of you combined and win the game. To sum up, keep in mind that any player alive in the game, no matter how weak he is, eventually still can have the same chances to win like everyone else. So always get rid of additional players while you can. By getting rid of the green player, now instead of 25%, we have 33% each of winning the game. Anyways, I'm very glad taking Australia from the green player. Even though I didn't want to take the green player for 2 cards and was waiting till he get third one, I still decided to go for Australia. I wanted that it would belong to me and only me, and not anyone else. It's very good to eventually get Australia when it comes to like mid-game or endgame, when it's only you and another 2 players left, because the person who has Australia can just turtle in it, while other players who have other continents are kind of forced to fight with each other. Plus they must split their armies if they want to properly guard their continents, while you can put your troops in only one big army, and while 2 players will keep invading each other continents, your troops will be untouched, because nobody will attack your biggest and only one army, as if somebody would attack, then that person would just give the game for another player. And this is why I fortified my troops to Brazil. I thought the yellow player will be scared of possibly getting invaded by me, be scared of possibly getting a lot of his troops crushed, so I thought he will fortify the army he guards Africa out of my way, so I will be able to move the army I have in South America, to Australia. So then the blue player would have captured South America and be getting the same amount of troops as yellow. So I wouldn't had to keep invading the yellow player anymore, as these 2 players would have been balanced each other. And eventually would have started fighting each other while I would be turtling in Australia watching the world burn. But unfortunately the yellow player didn't move his army to make me a way to move them to Australia, but differently he even added more troops to that border as you can see, so I'm pretty much stuck having these troops in South America and cannot really do anything about that. And by the way, for those who aren't familiar with my channel yet, my name is ChampionEver. And in this channel I'm sharing relevant risk global domination tips and tricks that will help you to increase your rank in no time. I upload my videos constantly. I try to make them short and informative but also entertaining at the same time. I'm currently Grandmaster and have over 1500 hours of experience which I want to share with you. Most people want to know how to win at risk. Are you one of them? If so, then what are you waiting for? Subscribe and start grinding those rank points right now. Drastically improve your gameplay by simply watching risk videos. Anyways, since I wasn't able to move out my troops from South America, I came up with another plan, guys. I split my troops in South America into 2 different armies and about to do something very, very crazy. Most of you will think that's really crazy and ridiculous what I am about to do, but it is going to be a very sneaky plan of mine. The plan isn't guaranteed to work, but I think it's worth to give it a try. First, what I need to do is to blitz my armies into my opponent's borders. That's right, guys. Let's have some fun. Boom. And boom. I blitzed them, and I really hope that South America will be taken by the blue player, so they will be balancing and probably start fighting each other eventually. I specially blocked my army in Australia as I want to show that I'm not going to attack any of them anymore. Well, of course I will attack them if needed, I just want to create the illusion that they are safe. And shoot, I didn't expect that the yellow player will leave his army in South America. I either thought the yellow player will fully capture the continent so the blue player will be tempted to attack yellow, or either that the yellow player will pull his army back, so the blue player captures it and both players will be balancing each other. It was very smart of the yellow player just to invade South America without fully capturing it. Now the yellow player will have even more advantage against us. He will still be getting the same number of troops, but I will be getting less, and that's bad. Well, fortunately the blue has got a set so he might attack yellow. Let's see. And OMG guys, OMG. I cannot believe that the blue player blitzed yellow's biggest army. That is so good. My plan seems to work. I really hope that the yellow player got mad and tried to retaliate. And if the players start to fight each other, then they won't even see how fast I will have more troops than both of them combined, lol. Wish me best of luck, guys. Nice, very nice. Good job, yellow. That's my boy. All what you need to do is to keep attacking that nasty blue player. Don't let him humiliate you, show him some power of yellow. And come on blue, do you want to say that you will let yellow bully you? No. Attack him back, show him who is the boss. Just do it. Nice, very nice. I'm proud of you blue. You're such a good boy. And look guys, the blue player made such a mistake by unblocking my army. Now I'm free to attack whoever I want, and to be honest I cannot wait to swipe both of them out, lol. I'm very close of having the same number of troops of them combined. And thank you very much Yellow for attacking the blue player again. It might be it guys. I'm so glad you had a set Yellow. Now the game might be over for both of you soon. Let's just see if the blue player attacks you back. He didn't. Let's have a look at troops counter guys. Yeah, I finally have around the same amount of troops as both of them combined. Now it is my chance guys. Either now or never. I don't want that they would become strong again, and would have the same equal chances to win as me again. Let's take the yellow player out. I'm going for him firstly, because the blue player has even 21 territory, so obviously I would run out of time taking him out. Also differently than the yellow player, the blue player has his army blocked. So he won't be able to do much of the damage to me in his turn. You see guys, I was able to hold Australia plus Africa. I'm glad that I was able to invade North America in my last turn. I barely made it. Fortunately the luck was on my side today. I should have definitely acted much faster. I spent so many time looking into troops counter. But at the end everything went well for me it seems. Well, obviously went well for me lol. What can I say more? Thank you for watching guys. Give this video a thumbs up if you made it so far, and let me know if you would be interested to see even more long episodes of Risk like this one.